Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Magnus, and today we're going to talk about the Check Point roadmap that was presented on the Checkmate community now in November 2021. And this is not the full-fledged roadmap that normally Dorit holds in the CPX. I mean, when she holds that, it's like, I don't know, 300 slides in 45 minutes. People joke about it, but it's really insane and it's really fast, but it packs a lot of content. So this is a more slimmed down, but there were still some interesting parts, and I have taken some screenshots and I will highlight a few things. And just to make this clear, I don't work for Check Point. This is my own personal opinions about the roadmap that was presented. And the full roadmap is available on the Checkmate community. So as always, Check Point started with explaining the threat landscapes and the background and what they have seen the last year. And it has been a lot during the last year. Actually, 2020 was a lot as well. And I think that it showed a really nice slide about ransomware and how bad it really is and how scary it is. I mean, in the beginning, they talked about if you don't pay, well, we encrypt your files and you will never see it again. And you could recover that with backups and so on. So it was fixable. I mean, it's not good, but it's still fixable. And then later on, they started yeah, we encrypt your file. But before we did do that, we also took all your files so we can publish it and more or less make a lot of damage. This is your property, or this is your intellectual property, and we are going to release it for everyone to see it. And the last year, or starting from 2020, I believe, they also we steal your data, we encrypt your data, and now we're starting to talk to your customers and partners and really saying yeah, we have this information about you and we stole it from this company. So it's getting worse, and it's really hard to stop ransomware. It's really hard to, once you got it, you need to clean up everything. You need to, I don't know, start from scratch, I would say. You really need to use forensic people and check how did they get in and block it, segment, and try to learn from the experience. Yeah, it's getting worse. And there are a lot of things that can help you, and there are a lot of protections, but we all need to use the stuff better, and it needs to be easier to use it as well. And one thing that I really like is this Shift-left everything. So this has to do with the applications and the software and stuff that we actually do and publish to our customers. I mean, the DevOps world is going so rapidly now. It's really hard to keep up to date. So we need to shift the focus back to the development code and really make sure that our DevOps and our, well, applications is really secure from beginning as much as possible. And that has to do with using standards. Don't put clear text credentials in your code. So make it more difficult for attackers to find exploits of applications or things that you publish online or even that you publish internally. So I think this is a good approach, and it makes it easier. It makes it built into GitHub, GitLab. So it's really it's from the foundation, and there is where we need to start. So the most attacks, or the most successful attacks, it comes from stealing user credentials and misconfiguration. And this is part of limiting the misconfiguration, so it's not so bad. So it's really helping people that doesn't really work with security. They work with fixing applications. They work with making things work. They don't work with security. Security is normally no-sayer. So this is good that it makes it automated, it makes it fast, and it's so coders and so on can understand it. So after this, Check Point teased us with something, and that's about Check Point plus NVIDIA. So that makes me think about a new appliance line that uses NVIDIA chips or purpose-built appliances that is really fast. And well, if we should believe Check Point's data sheet here, they're talking about 800 gigs of firewall throughput. I don't know if this is including IPS, full threat prevention, Gen 5 security, and so on. They didn't say anything like that, but that's insane. And I understand the need of this. I understand that some customers or some data centers, they need this type of performance. But what I don't like is that one of the reasons why I like Check Point is because it's software. I can run it on appliances. I can run it on open servers. I can run it in the public cloud. I can run it in the private cloud. And I get the same feeling I know about, like, this is the performance that I can expect if I put this much. And if people or companies starting with like purpose-built appliances, how will the code be developed to handle like normal Intel CPUs? How will this work in the public cloud? How will this work in open software or open service, I mean? So one of my concern with this is like, is this the new scalable platform? Is this a new way to like divide the code? Will the code be the same? Will we have one train for like scalable platform and one train for like normal gateways? And I guess we need to see. And this is what I mentioned in a previous video, like Check Point is doing one software, then they're coming out with something new, and then they split the software again, and a few years later they put it back all together in one software. And this makes me think like they will split it up again, and I don't like that. Understand the need, but I want, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm excited about it, but I'm concerned about it as well. So Check Point really highlighted like, yeah, this is the leap forwards that they have seen previous years, and then 2022, 800 gigs. So that's like, I don't know, times 6.5, 7. So it will be an insane performance boost, but yeah, we will wait and see. And hopefully Check Point can remain one train, and hopefully they can still focus on like the software, making the software and features better and really making it work together, because that's one of the strengths of Check Point, to have one unified management. Then they started to talk about everyone's new favorite child, SD-WAN. And personally, yeah, I work for a service provider, so I'm a bit biased, but SD-WAN for me, I don't know, it's cool. In the Scandinavian countries, we don't really use like multiple ISPs for the purpose that SD-WAN can do, like splitting this sort of traffic to that ISP and that sort of traffic to that ISP. I mean, we have quite stable internet in the Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland. So yeah, I don't know. Most people use multiple ISPs or multiple internet links for redundancy purposes, not really for like switching applications between them. So they did show a bit like the new GUI and so on, and here we can see like throughput, latency, jitter, packet loss, and they said like, yeah, we can automatically fail between ISPs. And once again here we see like, yeah, this is for the Infinity portal, like the management station in the cloud. So this doesn't have like an on-prem management, it can integrate with it, and I had some questions regarding it, and I understand that you put it in the cloud, so it's easier to update it, keep it up to date. You don't really need to like do stuff on-prem to get this to work. But for me, as working as an ISP, a service provider, I want to have an on-prem solution. I want to have an on-prem solution for many reasons. So one of the reasons can be for like security customers. I mean, like government organizations and so on. They don't want to have it in the public cloud because they don't want to lose their information, their secret stuff. So some of these organizations, especially now, they use on-prem SD-WAN that they put on top of like MPLS. And you may think like, yeah, that's stupid. Not really, because then they can have like the underlay of MPLS, meaning guaranteed performance, one ISP to talk to, etc. But the SD-WAN, it provides encryption. It provides like the traffic flow for them. And they want to have this orchestrator or this management on-prem so they can actually make sure that their data is not lost. They don't want to put it in a public cloud that is owned by an American or Chinese company that they can then lose their information. So I would really like to see like a full-fledged on-prem solution, and or maybe something for the MSPs that you can actually manage multiple customers in an easy way. So I think this closes the gap for most like enterprise stuff, and people has been asking for this, and Checkpoint is trying to deliver this at least to the enterprise customer. If this covers all the user base or all the user cases, no, but it's a great step forward, and maybe they can develop it a bit more. There have been some questions, and we will take them up later. I did copy paste them from the Checkmate community. There was a lot of questions regarding SD-WAN, and they actually answered a few questions of these. But you see here, like, they fixed multiple WAN links, including MPLS, the application-based routing decisions, dynamic traffic steering, and path selection. And you see here, overlay network with multiple links. So I don't know if they covered all, but I think they covered most. So maybe you can talk about this as a real SD-WAN solution now. Let's see. I'm really excited about it, but I want more. And I want more for MSPs. I want more for when you're managing multiple customers, because most customers, let's face it, they don't manage their own network. There are consultants, there are like managed service providers that manage this, and we want to have it easy. And managed service providers, they use multi-domains. So I want to see something that I can use my MDS for SD-WAN and host multiple enterprise customers. Let's see, maybe it comes. Checkpoint showed some demos. It was really nice demos, actually. They high quality. The presentation itself wasn't very high quality. It was half decent, but the videos included in the presentation was really high quality, and they were actually good. I don't know how many people actually use these features, like when you have 3 or 4 ISPs within the same office and you use them only to split out application on different links. I don't know. In Europe, no way. Maybe in, I don't know, Asia. I don't think so, but maybe in, I don't know, some countries, maybe this is useful for. In the Scandinavian countries, it costs the same to buy like corporate internet as an MPLS. But in some countries, it's super cheap to buy in local internet, and maybe you only want to send specific traffic through MPLS or IPVPN. So maybe, yeah, I mean, this is part of SD-WAN, and that's why they have it. I don't use it myself, but I'm biased. I work for a service provider. So let's cover some of the questions that were taking up during the presentation, and this is actually my question, so I'm happy that Checkpoint actually answered this one. So I asked if, like, is this going to work for open servers? Is this going to work on the vSec or CloudGuard or whatever they call it now? And the reason for this is I want to be able to have like a bridge between normal IPVPN and SD-WAN. So people can go and going from an IPVPN to an SD-WAN and don't do it in a big bang. So they can like combine it together. And it's really nice if it's actually supported in the CloudGuard or the vSec, so you can have it in the public cloud, so you can see this as an SD-WAN site. Because when it comes to, I mean, in the private cloud as well, because it's really hard to actually get software from other vendors and run this software based within your own data center or in your hosting partners if it's not like Azure or AWS or whatever. So I hope that this will come soon, and they say that it will be supported in R81.10, so that's really nice. I'm waiting for that. And I think this was my question as well. I didn't specify really like this, but I asked if there was be an on-prem solution. And so far it looks like, yeah, this will be hosted online and you can do some integrations. Not really what I'm asking for, but they say it's not on the short-term roadmap. Maybe it's on the long-term or mid-term. We will see. So far it's cloud-based. For normal enterprise, I think that's just fine. The licensing when it comes to Checkpoint is always, it can always be tricky. So this is not finalized. They didn't have anything. They didn't say any cost. I hope that Checkpoint more or less will include it. I think that would be really good. I don't know how much you can actually charge for this. I hope it will be included, and that would really like set them apart from other vendors as well. I don't know how it works with Cisco, Juniper, Pawn, or whatever, if they charge additional stuff for SD-WAN or if this is included in their normal features. I think it should be included in normal features, like just like IPsec VPN. This is just a bit more advanced IPsec VPN. And of course, I understand that you need to have like the application control to be able to figure out like, yeah, if you want to take one application and go into one different link, you need to like have a firewall that knows how to see what type of application it is. So in my point of view, SD-WAN should be included, but it requires different blades to actually function like SD-WAN do. But we will see what Check Point decide. Let's see. So now when SD-WAN is available, will the ISP redundancy feature will be removed? They say that it will not be removed, if I understand this statement correctly. I think there are a lot of people using ISP redundancy for, especially the SMB appliances. It doesn't work for example, V6, or didn't before at least. So yeah, nice that they don't exclude different feature when they add new. Does SD-WAN make path decision on a packet level or a connection level flow? And for local breakouts, direct connected internet, it will be done on the connection level. For overlay VPN, it will be done per packet. I don't really understand what this means, but let's see how it actually works in practice when we try it out. Is the SD-WAN orchestration available on-prem smart console? And here it says like it will be available from the Infinity portal. That's the cloud-based thing, and there will be an easy way to link the on-prem smart console to the Infinity portal. I hope that they will put it in the smart console, especially now when it's web-based, so they can update it more quickly. Let's see. And there was some questions regarding QoS, and so far they only say that it will be application-based, and QoS will come later in 2022. So let's see when it comes and how it comes. The next session of like this presentation of the roadmap was really focusing on like remote workers and the new way of working. I mean, so they talked a bit about the harmony, and it's starting to get like a full-fledged like complete system that includes most that you need. So endpoint security, clientless connectivity, VPN, secure email, secure browsing, and secure mobile phones. And this with like secure internet browsing and mobile phones, and to have that in combination together, that's really nice. I mean, one of the issues has been before, you can buy all of these products, but you need to buy it from different vendors, and they don't really integrate with each other, so it's hard to like get the full picture. And Check Point is really good in like taking purchase company and put them into their system and really makes it work together and have the same look and feel. So I applaud Check Point for this. They do it much better than other vendors. Other vendors have a hard time integrating new companies that they buy, and it really feels like separate products. When Check Point buy companies, it takes a while, and then they get it to work more or less seamlessly. So I really like that. And I think this is quite cool. And this is just a different slide to show like what sort of features and functions does this have, and why it work on different type of things. If you want more information about this, you need to read about it, or I will make a different video. This was quite, I don't know, 10 minutes of the presentation, so it was quite intense. It was quite a lot. And I think it's good to focus on this one. So they showed some like highlights of the zero trust in this part. And once again, this is like a cloud solution. You cannot run it on-prem, like the endpoint stuff. They're moving more and more to cloud. I understand why they do it. I don't like it. I hope they will put same functionality on-prem as they have in the cloud stuff, especially when they doing more of this automatic updates when it comes to like specific features within the management station. Hopefully it will come in a later release. Don't hold your breath, I would say, but hopefully other customers like us, like the MSPs and so on, will really focus on like, yeah, we still want it on-prem because of these reasons. So this was the sort of stuff that is currently supported, like browsing, RDP web, SSH, SQL. And this is the roadmap. I don't know if it's long-term, mid-term, short-term. When all of this comes, then I will really try it out. Because I like this feeling like you can have file share, Kubernetes, and like native RDP, and have this sessions recorded, so you have the audit of it. And this can be really good for service providers if it works with, yeah, we can talk about it later, but this one I'm excited about. I just want a few more features that will really make it work for my specific purpose. Then they showed some like graphical interfaces, and I like that Check Point keeps like their look and feel, so it looks the same, so you see that it's still Check Point stuff. I just want it on-prem, please fix that. So this specific part, like the corporate password reuse, it's good that they did stop and like emphasize extra, like this is super important. And this is one of the key features that I really like. So the big thing with this one, the password reuse stuff, is really dangerous. And to really make it quick, if someone is breaching one company, they take out your hashes from your password, they run it in GPU-based servers to try to brute force it to run word lists. And then they can see like, yeah, this hash equals to this password, and they use this mail. And then they put this into word list, and when they're using it, and when they're attacking like corporate or enterprises, they use this word list with old cracked passwords. And because people are reusing passwords on their corporate domain and on public websites or whatever, these hashes are already known, so they can crack your corporate password if it's reused really, really fast. We're talking about minutes. So this is really dangerous for organizations to have employees reuse their passwords. So that was a lot of words in a few seconds. I hope you understand it, but the core point of this, don't reuse passwords, use long passwords, use complex passwords, and rotate your passwords on a regular interval. So that's it when it comes to password reuse. And you can expect all your users to actually, they are reusing their passwords because they need to remember too many passwords, and people don't use like password generators. They don't use like KeePass or stuff to actually don't need to remember the passwords. So this is dangerous, and we need to educate our users, and we need to make it easier for the user not to make any mistakes. Then they show some slide about unified management, and yeah, they talk about unified management in the cloud, but not on-prem. There are still a lot of parts of the management station that doesn't have the new look. It's not integrated together. So Check Point just need to fix this. It's good that they do it in the cloud, but they need to do it on the prem as well. That's all I have to say about it. If you talk about unified management, it needs to be the same as well on-prem, and this is one of the key features that Check Point is promoting when it comes to like the gold standard of management. That's one of the key features that I like about Check Point, and I think they need to work harder to get rid of the legacy parts in the smart console and really make it new. And one of these things are, for example, licenses. It's still the old smart console when it comes to licenses, and the new license way in the R81, it just sucks. So they need to fix that part in the real management, especially when it comes to multi-domain, when you're handling a lot of licenses, and it's just annoying. So this is something that Check Point just need to fix. Then they promoted some of their deep learning AI ML or whatever they call it. And this is, this is what they need to do. They need to be faster. It needs to be a lot faster when it comes to making decisions if this is a real threat, or if it's malicious or not. And the decision cannot take minutes. It needs to go instantly. It needs to go in seconds, because users will not wait. So this is really good that they emphasize on this, that they're changing the way that they are using these features, and that it's more precise. They block more. So nice work, but this is what I expect from a security company. And if they're not doing this, they are not doing their job. So yeah, it's good, but it's expected. And this is one of the things when it comes to like correlating everything together, use the same engines, use the threat cloud for more stuff, and really integrate products with each other. Because when you integrate products with each other and you really see this, then it's when you can take the most advanced attacks and really figure it out if it's malicious or not. So it's nice to see this, and it looks like it's getting better and better. That's really nice. And this is what I talked about before. Users will not wait 5 minutes for a file. They will complain like insane. So when you're able to do this threat extraction or sanitize and deliver, I think this is threat extraction. When you more or less you can take a Word file and make a PDF on it, so it only has the information instead of like having macros, etc. This is really cool, and as far as I know, it works great. So this is cool, and this is something I want to have myself. And they finish off with this one. I think this was the last slide. And this is just to emphasize like the attacks get larger and larger and more advanced, and you really need to like check everywhere to catch this. And the bases are the same. It's still social engineering. It's still like account takeover. It's moving laterally within the company, because companies are bad in like building roadblocks between different things within their organization. It's like when you get into the organization, it's like free for all. And this is something that is up to us. We really need to like emphasize to our managers, our companies, and so on, that we need to build roadblocks and we need to segment better. So the way to limit attacks is still the same. It's segmentation, segmentation, segmentation. Know your stuff. Make sure that things are patched. Make sure that things that are not in use are removed, they are decommissioned. Make sure to document stuff, make sure to pen test stuff. But if you segment and patch your systems, you're really good. And if you make sure to decommission old stuff, you're even better. So keep to the basic and really try to do this segmentation, and then you add the sophisticated like prevention methods, and this with like detect stuff, useless. If something comes into the network and start to spread, you don't want to have an alert like this is happening. You want it to be blocked right away. So the philosophy of Check Point with prevention first, that's the right approach. We are too little people that working with this, and we don't have time to recheck everything. We want it as easy as possible, and we want nice like graphs and so on that we can show our management, so we can get the budget that we need. And time. Time is like the most valuable asset, because I know that many of you guys, you're aware of things that are not correct in your network, but you don't have time to fix it. And it's normally not only money issue, it's really time, like prioritization between different projects, and it's really hard to get priority for stuff that doesn't fix any like business needs. It's only fixing like, yeah, this is a vulnerability that someone can find potentially, and if they find it, it's really bad, but until then, it's keep it on the low end. So make things easier and really try to emphasize segmentation, and don't reuse your passwords. So I think this is it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.